Houston, it's rodeo time. Your local takeover store is the place to go for the finest handmade cowboy boots, jeans, belts, cowboy hats, and apparel for men and women. If you've never owned boots before, let them help you get your first pair like they did for me. Stop by one of your local Houston takeover stores and get ready for the rodeo with their understated approach to Western. Whether it's your first rodeo or you're a seasoned pro, your local takeover store is the place to go for rodeo season. Tacovas, don't go gently. Today on CityCast Houston, Mayor Whitmire is working on his new budget and he's throwing some shade as he does it. Plus, a new leak inside HISD could lead to legal action against the Houston Chronicle. And how much was spent on rodeo art? Producer Carlignon Jones joins me to break down the stories you need to know about to start the week. It's Tuesday, March 12th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Hey, Carly. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, waiting for my coffee to kick in, but you know.
Hey, you know what? That's a Tuesday for you, right? Mm-hmm. It's like the worst day, but we try to make it the best day for everyone listening, right? Monday, you've got the excitement of the week if you are excited about it. Wednesday's hump day. Thursday, you're almost in Friday, and Friday's Friday, right? So exactly. Tuesday kind of gets left behind, and that's why we're here. We're going to try to uplift your Tuesday a little bit. It is spring break week here in the city of Houston. It's a beautiful time. What's your favorite spring break memory? One that you can talk about. Look, ooh. Everybody was wild in college.
Actually in college, I didn't do much of the spring break stuff that most people did. Like, I've never been to Padre Island or anything like that. I usually would go back home and spend it with my family instead. Or one time when I was because I went to UT Austin, me and Raheel both went to UT, we have South by Southwest. So I stayed in Austin for South by Southwest, and we had the best time because we got into so many free concerts. Mm-hmm. MTV came down and they brung 10 artists to a show for free. And it was big artists. It was Wale, and it was a great time. That was a lot of fun. So I guess that would probably be my favorite memory.
Yeah, in college, I was like you. I never had a chance to go to Mexico or Padre Island or anything like that. I was always working. It's I'm paying for college here. So I would either be working or interning at a news station, right? Just trying to get more experience. Mm-hmm. And then the years I would stay in Austin, those are the best because South by Southwest, as you mentioned, always falls during spring break. So you just have so many great opportunities to watch live shows, network with people, go to events. It's a blast. Mm. So yeah, those were good memories. I think my favorite one was taking my daughter after the COVID shutdowns. When we finally started getting back into it, we went to Corpus Christi in 2022. And that was so much fun just to get out, just to experience it just a trip and a drive. And Corpus Christi is a blast. We went to Padre Island as well, but on the other side, not the party side. Yeah. We went to Padre Island Seashore, the National Seashore Beach. Try saying that 10 times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's one of my favorite memories. Just hanging out with her and just enjoying it all. So that was a blast.
Yeah, I love that because COVID definitely made you appreciate outside way more after being locked up for 2 years? So yeah, I feel that.
No, for sure. Hey, let's get to our big stories that everyone's talking about to start the week. And let me jump into it first because we knew this was going to be an issue, Carly, with the city budget. And even the last city controller, Chris Brown, was talking about how there's going to be a budget gap going into this year, right, as his term was ending. And it looks like that budget gap of about $160 million is definitely on the mind of Mayor Whitmire because his proposed first budget for the fiscal year, which is going to be starting in July for the city of Houston, is looking like he's going to put a 5% cut in the budget, impacting most departments, but not police and fire. So this budget reduction could mean cutting spending in some city departments, reevaluating some city services, and then also not hiring to fill vacancies. Mayor Whitmire said prior administrations didn't spell out the city's true financial standing. So, throwing some shots out there and throwing a little shade at the last administration. Mm-hmm. He also had this quote with Houston Public Media. He said, look, it's been kicked down the road. The budget was balanced by selling property, one-time federal funding, which is something that we've talked about a lot. So it's very sobering discussion to hear our true financial picture. I'm going to be very transparent. This could get really, really ugly here, Carly.
It's crazy. Like, let's just start off. $160 million budget gap is actually a hell of a a hell of a budget gap. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Let's start there. But then on top of that, I hate that we're not going to fill these vacancies now because of the cuts that he's trying to make. I get that he's trying to do what's best for the city, but at the same time, if we just think back to the episode that we did where there were people that weren't getting their recycling picked up because there were vacancies, there were problems where people aren't, at work or don't have these jobs filled. So all that will do is continue to create problems in just different other areas and different departments around the city. And I can only imagine how that's going to end up affecting everyone around here because there's so many people. Like we need people to be at work. We really do because
Yeah.
millions of people in this town.
And then last year, remember, the city approved a $6.2 billion budget, right? So in the grand scheme of things, $160 million is a lot for us, but in a $6.2 billion budget, no, not as big. But the
True.
reason I'm bringing up last year's funding or last year's fiscal funding, right? Because again, it starts in July. The budget included a 3% raise for workers, including police and firefighters. They actually got a 6% raise. So, some people did get raises last year, and now everyone's coming back going, hey, look, I don't think there's going to be raises. In fact, we're trying to cut some spending here by 5%. So this is something that is going to be watched and talked about a lot. The city is hoping to have the first draft of the budget by May, approved by June, and then hopefully everything kicks in on time in July. So definitely a big story to start the week. And I kind of like the fact that this administration is saying, look, there's no magic pill out there. There's nothing that's going to solve this. So we have to take these steps right now and let's get ahead of it as opposed to just running as normal and trying to figure things out. And yes, we'll figure out, hey, if some services are cut, then we need to see if other departments can step in and help out or what can be done. But look, this is something that we knew was going to happen. It is happening and they are taking steps. So we'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah, definitely something to watch.
All right, Carly, let's get to your big story. What do you got?
Okay, y'all. So I have two stories. HISD, as usual, is running amok. And we'll start and jump in with the first one because HISD released performance ratings warning about 120 principals via email that they could be possibly forced out of their jobs unless they improve their performances. Now, this got even crazier because someone allegedly sent this information to the Houston Chronicle because they published details about the ratings. And now the administration is suggesting the possibility of illegal action against the news outlet. This is so crazy because as journalists, it's our job to report firsthand what's going on and to let the public know about everything. But I guess that the way it was done, Miles is kind of saying it was unverified information and illegally obtained. So that's why he's talking about launching a whole investigation to find out who leaked this information. And he threatened the Houston Chronicle about legal action and said, basically, remove the list or there's going to be problems. You know what I mean?
So yeah, there's legal action now proposed, right? And Mike Miles and HISD told the Houston Chronicle, you better take this list down because one, it's not correct, right? So in an editor's note, this is what the Houston Chronicle's note says, okay? The Houston Chronicle initially published the names of 117 principals listed as recipients of the email. The news organization then received a tip that the district may have included someone erroneously in its distribution. In its editorial discretion, the Houston Chronicle took down the list of names. So this is getting confusing, right? Because now, as listeners, you've heard 120, 117, there's different numbers. So the Houston Chronicle is saying that we're taking this list down because some people got it incorrectly, right? And the list might actually be 120 and only 117 were included on the list on this email. So it gets confusing, but nonetheless, this email was sent by HISD.
Yeah, it's a really crazy story. I mean, HISD always has some drama going on. And so that leads me into my next story because Michelle Williams, she is the Houston Education Association president and also the leader of the local teachers union here. She's known for being pretty critical of Mike Miles and his policies. And now she is kind of in trouble because she went live allegedly from her classroom during the workday to basically slam the district about the recent compensation manual that they came up with for teachers next year. Now, Michelle Williams says that she was actually at home during this live video, and that she was just in front of a decorated area in her home that looks like her classroom. And that the other content that was posted during the school day was reportedly posted by other union staffers. So she pretty much lawyered up and is not commenting on the situation beyond that. And the district has not confirmed whether she is employed there or not. However, the memo shows that she was reassigned as of March 7th to the bus depot. Now, HISD board will have to vote on Williams' possible termination or not, but she does have the option to protest the results, which I'm pretty sure she will because, she's basically out here fighting for these teachers as much as she can. So I can't really see her just laying down and just going with it at all. She's very hardcore with her stance and has been going, hard for this whole situation ever since Mike Miles took office. I really want to see how this is going to turn out. I hope the best for her because I hate to see anybody lose their job, especially over a social media post,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
No, for sure. I mean, this is so wild what's happening. Every single week, there's a story about HISD and the handling from the Mike Miles administration. When we interviewed him, most of it just sounded like, hey, I wish you had better communication. Like, I wish there was more communication here and being more upfront as opposed to just stepping in
Mm-hmm.
and just saying, this is my way or the highway. And it still seems like that. Like, look, this is what Mike Miles wants to do, right? By all accounts, by all his actions as well. But if there's better communication here, I wonder what it would be like. I wonder what the reception would have been like because communication has been really bad so far from the outside looking in, right? Just commentating on this, it looks like if they just cleaned up their communication skills a little bit, maybe things would be a little bit better. I'm sure there'd still be kickback and a lot of resistance from some of the teachers who are set in their ways. But man, this is making it way harder and everything leaking now. They're trying to get to the bottom of the leaks. There's just a lot of distrust, it seems like, in HISD.
Yeah, it just seems so crazy and chaotic. And it's definitely that my way or the highway type of mindset that is kind of like seeming to fuel the fire here. I think that if
Mhm.
they had some communication and talk things out, it would be better. But it's kind of hard to try to talk things out as if I was Miles to be trying to talk to teachers from hundreds of schools. Like it's kind of difficult. So where's the balance?
But that's your job. That's why you're getting paid so much money.
Yeah.
It's like, look, that is your job. And that's why you have a team helping you out. So, if you have a student in HISD, by the way, if you're listening or if you're a teacher or you work in HISD and you have any feedback for us on how it's going for you, please send us a note in our show notes. There's a contact information tab there. Just send us a message wherever, email, phone, or on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you and learn a little bit more about your experience as well, being there in HISD as a teacher, student, parent, administration role, whatever it may be.
Does Monday at the office feel like a storm? Not with Microsoft Copilot. That feeling when Copilot gets everyone up to speed instantly? It's sunny again. When Copilot simplifies complex data so your teams can act, that sun's shining on a beach. And when Copilot uncovers hidden insights, you're on that beach with your people, and you find buried treasure. That's Microsoft Copilot. Learn more at Microsoft.com/AI for all.
Shipping can make or break a sale, so optimize how you ship your orders with ShipStation. They make it easy to automate and manage orders no matter how big your business grows. And they might even be able to help reduce shipping and warehouse costs. So optimize and keep up your momentum for growth with ShipStation. Sign up for your free 60-day trial now at ShipStation.com and use the code POD. That's ShipStation.com with the code POD.
Carly, let's do some rapid fire. I've got two quick stories here for you, and they can't be more on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So I'll start with the rodeo one first. Our rodeo week might be done, but everyone's still going out there. And every year, the one number that is always fascinating to me is the number that comes from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Student Art Program auction, where students are putting together these great pieces of artwork and they are auctioning this off to raise money for scholarships and other funds that help out art programs locally. The number for this year, they've raised a total of $475,000 at the auction.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love seeing these art pieces because like it is mind-blowing how detailed they are. Like
Hmm.
they don't even look like artwork half the time. Most of them look like they took a picture from a camera and like posted it. It's like so amazing. It's so beautiful. And it's so amazing that they can do this at such a young age, you know?
Yeah, that's the crazy part is how young they are. This year's grand champion was called Warriors of the Great Spirit by Clear Springs High School senior Eliza Hoffman. That's an 18-year-old, a senior in high school, raised $275,000. What?
That's crazy.
And this is coming off last year where she finished as the reserve grand champion and her artwork was auctioned off for $185,000. What?
Whew. I need to go find her and like ask her if I can borrow $20 or something because she's over there banking as an 18-year-old. I love it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think she gets the profit for all of this, by the
Okay.
way, because this is all going for the scholarship fund. That's what I was trying to look up. Like, do these students get a little bit of this?
Hmm.
I'm sure they get scholarship money, but I don't think they're getting any of the actual sales proceeds
Ah.
from the auction because it is all to raise money for the scholarship fund and art programs.
Okay, like that's good, but it also kind of sucks if you're the person that won and then you hear the
Yeah.
number and they're like not giving you the full number. Like it's kind of like, dang, like stings a little bit.
Yeah, but it's also eye-opening that there's that much money out there. Like you just
Yeah.
spent $275,000 on a
Hmm.
piece of art from a student.
Oh,
Like that
wow.
is some next level money right there. You're just like, yeah, it's all good. It's not even a Basquiat. You're just like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a student artwork. What?
It's beautiful though. We'll have it linked in the show
Yeah.
notes for sure because y'all do have to see it. It's gorgeous.
Okay, Carly, I told you these stories are on the total opposite ends of the spectrum. So there's nothing funny about this, but it is funny like how they are totally opposite. Syphilis is on the rise here in the city of Houston and
Ooh,
across the nation. In 2022, about 207,000 cases of syphilis were reported nationally, which is an increase of 17% from 2021, according to the annual Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report. Now, nearly 6 in 10 cases were reported in just 5 states: Texas, California, Arizona, Florida, and Louisiana, per the CDC. In the Houston and Harris County area, women accounted for 674 cases in 2022, which was up from 295 cases in 2019. So there has been a major spike here. And look, there are a lot of clinics here that are offering free tests to get everything, tested out. Make sure you don't have syphilis, so you're not spreading it as well. So, I mean, look, this is something everybody needs to watch out for, especially for all you young people on the prowl here.
the young people on the prowl is crazy. Oh my god. Oh my God, this is crazy. I want to say, like, what the heck is going on? Like, what are y'all doing? But obviously, we know what y'all are doing, but y'all need to do it a
Hmm.
little safer, is what it sounds like, because that is outrageous. From 295 in 2019
Hmm.
to 674, a 400 people jump is, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
that's scary. That is actually really scary, especially that it's literally 5 states that we're looking at that have this much going on. I'm kind of scared about, like, what's going on? What is going on in these specific states that's causing this?
I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Look, Texas, California, Arizona, Florida, and Louisiana, people are outside. That's
Yeah.
what's going on.
They are outside for sure.
The other thing about this is the congenital syphilis contraction. So, from a pregnant mom to a child, that
Mm,
soared from 16 cases in 2016. Okay, so listen to this number: 16 just 8 years ago to 151 cases in
my God.
2021. That's scary.
Oh my gosh, that is so terrible. The interview that we had yesterday about prostitution that was going on Bissonnet, I remember when I was watching Pooja's full interview, which y'all should go check it out. One of the girls was talking about how she has syphilis and she gave it to her child because she was pregnant with it. And that is just so heartbreaking. You could just tell, like, from her voice, like, how upset she was about that fact, you know? So
Yeah,
it is, oh, that is so
that's
terrible.
scary.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. And here's one last number before we get to the next portion of the podcast. Texas had 246.8 cases of congenital syphilis per 100,000 births in 2022, which is the fourth highest rate in the country.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, like there's a lot going on here. And, please go out there, get checked out, be safe,
Hmm.
and make smart decisions.
Yes, please. Be careful, y'all.
Okay, Carly, it's time to end our Tuesday show with Only in H-Town. These are stories that are so unique to our city and just so memorable. So you kick it off. What do you got? Only in H-Town.
All right, another layer has been added to the turkey leg hut drama as the business office caught on fire this past weekend on Saturday. Now, if you remember, we've been talking about this for a couple months now. There's been drama between the husband and wife who originally opened Turkey Leg Hut a couple years ago. I think it opened in maybe like 2015 or something like that. But it's been a huge hit in Houston. Everybody loves it, and it's a staple down here now. But the husband and wife split up, and as we reported last week, there was kind of some drama when he did a pop-up shop right across the street from Turkey Leg Hut. And let me remind you that he has been fired from the area, and I think a restraining order had also been placed. So I don't really know how he was able to do that pop-up, but maybe they didn't fully do the restraining order. I don't know.
But Carly, not only did he do the pop-up, there
Mhm.
was video of him going back and forth, not only from the pop-up, which is across the street from the turkey leg hut.
Yeah.
He was going to the turkey leg hut, like going inside there. I mean, like, what is happening here?
Oh yeah, it's getting a little suspicious at this point. I'm confused. I think everybody's confused, especially because like if you had a restraining order, he's not allowed to be near you, so that can't be true at this point. I mean, I don't really know exactly what's going on, but there's been a lot of suspicious, crazy stuff. So the owner, Nakia Holmes, she posted on Instagram a video of the fire going on, and she posted it with the caption, "Lord, what are you preparing me for?" And I know that she's probably feeling those exact words because all this stuff back to back, like I just couldn't imagine having to deal with all of it. After the fire was put out, she posted another video of her kind of walking through the damages, and she was really, really emotional about it, which is completely understandable. Like, I'm just happy it wasn't the restaurant. It was the business office instead. But regardless, that just means that she's going to have to rebuild a whole lot of stuff while she's also trying to rebuild her own life, Like, I feel so
Oh,
bad.
that's so sad to hear, right? I mean, this drama for the turkey leg hut, it was such a promising restaurant, and it's still, look, one of the marquee spots, as you mentioned. A lot of people still go there, but we've been talking about it, as you mentioned, where you had the pop-up. You've had stories coming out that they weren't able to pay their employees because
Mm-hmm.
of money mismanagement with the firm they were using. And the divorced husband being fired, but even he went on Instagram saying the stories aren't true. And as I mentioned, he's going back and forth during a pop-up. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. What is the Lord preparing for them? Because this is so much for one place.
What is he saying the stories aren't true about, though, exactly? Is he saying that he didn't mismanage the money? Is that what he's trying to say?
I think he was hinting that he wasn't fired from the company or is no longer part of the company. So,
Oh.
yeah, again, there's just so many layers, and we only know what's going on based on the stories and social media posts. That's literally only in H-Town.
For sure.
Hmm. Okay, my only in H-Town is the following. All right. Only here can Bun B bring out Nelly, E40, Too Short, Rick Ross, that Mexican OT, the Yin Yang Twins, Eve, and potentially, wait for it, Drake for a 1 hour set tonight at the Rodeo of all places. Okay. This isn't a big music festival. This is the Houston Rodeo. The city is buzzing, Carly, for tonight's Bun B's takeover at the Rodeo. And as I mentioned that lineup, how are they going to get all these people in? Okay, it's a crazy packed show. It's a 1 hour show. Maybe he's going to get a chance to go over, but you've got that many artists. And then the addition of Drake just shot ticket prices up. I guess everyone's going to perform one song only or like half a song. How do you get all these people in 1 hour? And how are you willing to pay thousands of dollars to see one song per performer, it seems like?
Okay, let me say this. I am so, so excited. Like, as you were reading the list off, you should have seen the grin on my face, y'all. I love all these artists, and I'm so excited. I'm going to go there tonight, and I'm going to have a blast, me and my mom. But I was there last year, and he had a lot of artists out last year. There were probably like maybe 10 people that performed, and they gave us multiple songs. They didn't just do one, they did give us multiple songs. So I definitely feel like they have it planned out exactly how they want it to be, and that is going to be a great show. Erica Badu came out last year, And it was a lot of
Mm.
surprises last year. So I'm thinking that we have this lineup that's amazing. But I low-key think that there might be other people coming out. I do. I think that some more surprises are coming out. And I'm
Mm.
hoping one of them is like Lil Wayne or something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's Lil Wayne.
Man, we'll see because, yeah, this lineup is crazy. The city was buzzing on Friday when he announced or hinted at the potential of Drake. Nothing is confirmed. Drake did share that picture of the OVO logo with the cowboy hat. And if none of this makes sense, just read the story in the link in our show notes, because some people are like, wait, who are all these people? What's the OVO logo? What is happening here? But for those who understand, this is a huge, huge deal. And by the way, this is coming off a weekend where Los Tigres del Norte, they broke their own record of the concert attendance record for Go Tejano Day. 75,595 concert goers enjoyed Los Tigres del Norte on Go Tejano Day over the weekend. So the Houston Rodeo is popping.
Yeah, that is actually amazing. I love that so many people are going out and attending, and that it's becoming so inclusive of like all the different cultures. I think that if like with the Drake thing though, if he does not come out, people are going to be pissed because people went and bought those tickets because they are under the impression that he's coming out. So if he doesn't come out tonight, I mean, it's going to be hell to pay. You know what I mean?
It's going to
People
be
are gonna
wild.
Be pissed. But I'm so excited.
I have a feeling Bun B is going to lose all this great momentum and also equity that he's built up with fans, because that would be the ultimate tease.
Like,
that would be
literally.
so, and it's also a bait and switch, right? Like, let's be honest, because you hinted at this. There's only one person affiliated with this logo. And again, he hasn't fully come out and said Drake is coming out, but all signs are pointing to it. So we'll see what happens tonight. Have fun, Carly. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was producer Carlignon Jones. All of the stories we discussed are linked in our show notes. And while you're there, if you have any feedback about any of the stories we talked about, send us a message with the info right there in the show notes. That will do it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.
Someone allegedly sent